Yeah, all right. Yeah, we're good.
All right, welcome everybody. Ready to get started. So if you can find a seat, snuggle in with somebody next to you. We have a few seats around, so if you're in the back standing and you don't want to stand for this whole time, find a new friend somewhere. To get us started, I want to tell you a little story. At 9:23 a.m. on a cold, drizzly Saturday, on April 16th, 1983, a 10-pound, 8-ounce little boy was brought into the world. That little boy was me. So welcome everybody to my birthday party. Yay! I love making things all about me. But really, I know why you're all here. It's not to celebrate my birthday. Most of you probably didn't even know it was my birthday, but I appreciate that you're here anyway. Instead, we're here to celebrate the best speakers of all of our public speaking classes from the hundreds of students that took the Intro to Public Speaking class this semester. We had 19 that were selected by their classmates to come and compete last Saturday to deliver the best speeches of the semester. Of those 19, it was whittled down very difficultly, I don't even know if that's a word, but to our final 5 speeches. And those are the speeches that we're going to hear tonight. So buckle up, get excited. We have some great speeches coming up about a wide variety of topics that will all be very interesting to all of us. First off, I want to acknowledge some of the people who have come from the university to join with us in this celebration. First, our interim president, Dr. Leslie Durham. Our department chair, Dr. Ann Bialois. Our interim provost, Dr. Brent Horn. And unfortunately, our dean and associate dean were indisposed, doing other important things for our college. So we are graced with the assistant backup to the JV starter of the dean's office. That's just what it says here. Brittany Rocha. Just kidding, Brittany. I love you. Brittany is our marketing and public relations manager for the Lindquist College of Arts and Humanities. Give her a big round. And our final person that we wanted to acknowledge tonight is Jay Stretch, the former director of the Lantern House here in Ogden. Unfortunately, he has had some medical issues tonight, so he is not going to be able to join us tonight. But we would like to send him a welcome if he's watching on our live stream tonight. So welcome, Jay Stretch. Now we have some people who were willing to sacrifice their Saturday morning to judge the Selection Saturday competition. And so we'd like our judges from Selection Saturday to please stand up so we can recognize you. Just do it. Yeah, there we go. So first, Dr. Robin Hazlett, an assistant professor in the Department of Communication. Dr. Katie Kessler, an assistant professor in the Department of Communication. Stephen Richardson, the Director of Strategic Initiatives at Weber State. Jenny Frame, the Director of Wildcat Advantage Program at Weber State. And Presley Fuchs, a finalist from last semester who was up here delivering her speech just a few short months ago. So thank you so much, all of you, for being willing to come and share your talents in judging the Selection Saturday. All right, another thing that I'd be remiss if we didn't acknowledge these people. All of our Communication 1020 instructors, if you're here, if you could stand up so we can give you a round of applause. Everybody that teaches 1020. We have a fantastic group of instructors for this course, and it's because of their hard work that our finalists tonight have improved so much on their speeches, and so we wanted to recognize them. Just to give you a brief overview, we've been doing the speech showcase now for almost 2 decades, and this is one of our most favorite things. Teaching is almost kind of a secretive thing that not a lot of people outside of our classrooms get to see what happens there. And this celebration tonight is the opportunity for everybody to see how amazing our students are in COM 1020. As instructors, we get to see all of these great students and their ideas and the things that they're thinking about and wanting to communicate in an effective way. And in our classes, we teach them how to find their voice. And so tonight, we get to see some of our students, just a few of our excellent students that have found an opportunity to share their voice. So now we would like to recognize all of our speech showcase representatives. So we'd like to invite Dr. Ann Bialowas down front. When you hear your name, if you could come up and get your certificate, your acknowledgement. And I think we're going to have pictures, so make sure you smile brightly. All right, first, Skylar Allen. Come on down. Max Bartholomew. Braden Boyson. Lauren Butorak. Sorry. I got it right the first time on Selection Saturday, and I blew it. Dang it. Brianna Dillingham. Aria Farron. Kimberly Garcia Pita. Reese Hauser. Gavin Judkins. Caden Kreis. Patrick Neal. Canyon Page. Brinley Ritterhoff. Hattie Schoen. Spencer Short. Courtney Shoup. Elijah Thornton. Jace Toll. And Matthew Wood. All right, let's give one more big round of applause for all of our Selection Saturday presenters. All right, now the time has come for what we're really here for. We want to hear the 5 finalists give their presentations. So, our first presenter is Patrick Neal. Then we'll listen to Hattie Schoen, Jace Toll, Braden Boyson, and then Max Bartholomew. So, our first presenter, Patrick Neal, will deliver a speech titled A Mammoth Culture Change in Utah. He's from American Fork, Utah, and calls Centerville, Utah home. He's majoring in sports management and is a sophomore this year. He graduated from Viewmont High School, and his aspiration is to be in business and marketing side of sports, and his instructor for this semester was Bethany Rasmussen.
I'd like you all to come on a journey with me, 40 minutes south of Ogden, Utah, to the capital of Salt Lake City. Now, we're going to drive our car. We're going to park around the Delta Center. We're going to walk in together. The air is buzzing, energy palpable, as we walk towards the familiar jazz note. But then, it's that big black circle standing right next to it. Is that a hockey puck? What in the world? I must be going crazy. You walk in, ready for an exciting night of basketball. Except you feel a blast of Arctic air hit your skin, and you realize that shorts and a t-shirt probably weren't the best option for tonight. You're kind of confused. Why is everyone here? You see friends from school, colleagues from work, even little kids running around. And you see everyone wearing black, mountain blue, and white. And you're really confused. That's how I felt walking into my new job, working at the Delta Center in the team store in December of 2024. Now, I was just getting off of my LDS mission in New England, lived there for 2 years, and loved every minute of it. That's where I was first exposed to hockey. If you don't know, the Northeast is very, very deeply rooted in hockey culture. When I lived in Vermont, there were more outdoor ice skating rinks than Walmarts in the state. Crazy, right? We'd walk down the street, my friend and I, and see kids on ice skates hitting each other with such violence that you wondered where their parents were. And you wondered if you needed to make a call. And that's what I love about the sport. Now, basketball and Utah go hand in hand. Because Utah's been known for 2 things. I call them the M&Ms of Utah. Mountains and Mormons. If you needed to walk up to someone on the street and say, describe Utah in 2 words, I'm willing to bet a good amount of money that Mountains and Mormons make an appearance. Because that's what Utah was known for a long time. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints helped found this great state. It's been central to its innovation, to its business, to its commerce, to its culture. And the Mountains were a nice side piece. They were a calling card to say, yeah, look at those. And basketball worked with it. Basketball, a slow-moving, evolving game that was perfect for families and for large youth groups. You could come down to the Delta Center or to the Vivint Smart Home Arena and watch a game and enjoy the experience because the game was slow. You could walk out, not miss much, grab your concessions, and come right back in, not missing a beat. And I think it goes hand in hand with the culture of Utah. Down to earth, slow, methodical. Good vision is essential. Having a vision for the future is key to success on the court. But over the last couple of years, Utah's seen a major change. People have come to Utah far and wide, coming for new opportunities in business, coming for the beautiful natural scene, coming because they don't like their current state. Utah has failed to adapt. No more apparent than in the summer of 2022 when Jazz superstars Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert demanded trades from the organization. My sophomore heart was shattered because my basketball idols were gone and I didn't know what to do anymore. And my team entered the forbidden rebuild, in which your team purposefully loses games in order to gain a better draft pick. We've been doing that for 4 years now. Okay, cool. So basketball, this already slow game that's built on talent, was suddenly lost in the state. And it really didn't reflect the people that lived here. All of a sudden, Utah's downtown life in Salt Lake City started to pick up steam. New bars and clubs opened, new restaurants, exciting opportunities to go out with your friends on a Friday or Saturday night. And yet, our sports culture lacked. Now, I'm a firm believer in sports. Shocker, right? I have always loved sports. It's been a way for me to bond with my parents, for me to bond with friends at school, to talk about, to make an identity. And I've always associated myself with my sports teams. It's how I would describe myself. Oh, I'm a Seattle Seahawks fan. Oh, I'm a BYU fan. All these things were my identity. And I think there's a key relationship there. Because rather than dividing ourselves, sports help us to unite. Now, in late 2023, Ryan and Ashley Smith had an idea. They said, we want to bring hockey to Utah. But the NHL, the National Hockey League, wasn't willing to expand quite yet. And so, through a bunch of back-channel deals, they managed to sell the Arizona Coyotes and relocate the team with the roster intact to our state. Instantly, every critic imaginable rose from the ranks saying, oh, hockey will never work in Utah. They don't have the culture to do it. They don't have the people that come out and support the team. Well, wouldn't you know that 22,000 season ticket deposits were landed in the hands of the organization before the team plane touched ground in Salt Lake City, Utah? How's that for support? Okay, well, season tickets are one thing, but is anyone actually going to show up? They don't even have a name. They're the Utah Hockey Club. Oh, they'll show up. A sellout crowd for the first week and a half straight of games, only dipping when a Sunday afternoon game came along. Wonder why that is. And yet, I have become hooked on hockey. It's gotten me, and I know the reason why. Basketball, this sport that defined the state of Utah for decades, is super stiff. It's like this suit. It's not fun anymore. What used to be fast-moving and entertaining is just rigid. I don't like it. I much prefer wearing a hockey sweater, something that's stretchy, designed to be tugged on by your opponent, designed to Embrace the culture around you. With the icy blue of the mountains, the white of the snow caps, it fits me better. Because I can't think of two vastly different sports, two sports that are completely opposite of each other, than basketball and hockey. In basketball, the court is wide open. You could walk down yourself if you really wanted to. You wear a tank top and short shorts. You run around. The fans are kind of engaged. And when you shoot the ball, there's a couple of seconds of hang time where the crowd audibly holds its breath and waits for the result. But hockey is completely different, and it showcases the new and improved Utah. Fast-paced, hard-moving, hitting each other, bumping into problems, and a train horn. A really, really, really loud train horn that if you're not ready for it, might shook you a little bit. To me, hockey is the perfect analogy to explain the new Utah. A brand new environment with everyone from every cross of life ever. Now you can imagine myself, a young returned missionary, eyes bright, thinking he landed his dream job working in the arena. It didn't matter that he worked retail. No, he was just happy to be there, happy for free sports. And then I walk in and see people with beards down to their knees that have spent absurd amounts of money for merchandising, clutching two giant beers, shaped like a mammoth tusk. And I kind of had to think to myself, okay, I have to adapt now. And that's what the game of hockey is all about. What's your opponent doing? How are they checking you? What are their lines like? Are they switching? What can you find to adapt and evolve? That's the next key for the state of Utah. How can we adapt and evolve with one another to accept everyone, no matter where they come from, no matter what background they have, to see them as what they are, a teammate, a brother or a sister. As one of my favorite season ticket holders told me, Brandon, he said, Patrick, hockey in Utah isn't just a new team, it's a new identity. It's something that will shape this state for years, and I would love for you guys to join the ride with me. Currently, they're playing the St. Louis Blues, so it's a little late to catch that game. But we play Vegas round one of the playoffs starting on Sunday. Tune in. Follow along. Find a player to stick to, whether it's someone that you just think is really cute. Girls, I got you. The boy aquarium is real. Or maybe it's the captain, Clayton Keller, who won gold for the USA, something that was meant to unite the country. And yet hockey provides an opportunity for us to unite as the brand new state of Utah. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Patrick. Our next presenter is Hattie Sean. She'll be delivering a speech titled, Let's Dance. She was born in Salt Lake City and still calls Salt Lake City home. Her major is dance education. She's a sophomore this year. She graduated from Skyline High School. Her dream is to teach dance, and her instructor for this semester was Haley Adams.
Hello, everyone. My name is Hattie Sean, and today I am here to completely change your perspective on dance forever. Now, everyone in this room has one thing in common, and though you might not want to admit it, everyone in this room feels the need to dance. Whether it's when you're alone singing in your shower, when your mom put you in that one ballet class when you were 6 years old, or up on a big stage. Now, I took this a step further and have been a professional dancer for a while and have been training in dance for 17 years. Now, with all of that combined knowledge, today I'm here to tell you why everyone can dance, why everyone should be dancing, and why we should protect dance. Now, the first thing that people say when I tell them that I'm a professional dancer is, oh, you are so lucky. I could never dance like that. I have 2 left feet. Now, luckily enough, I have the solution for you. Northumbria University did a survey where they took 20 men and 37 females, made them dance for 30 seconds, and ranked those dance moves on a scale of 1 to 10. They took all of that data to create the scientifically best way, most attractive, and coolest way to dance. And this is what it looks like. Watching that, it's kind of ridiculous, right? Like he's got this elbow thing and like this little running motion. That's because the idea of a good and bad dancer doesn't exist. The only thing you need to do to be a good dancer is to have confidence, creativity, and passion. I promise you that if I saw those same dance moves, not on an avatar that doesn't convey an emotion and is just there for scientific purposes, but on a real human being that has the confidence, creativity, and passion of a dancer, I would consider that pretty good dancing. Now, if you're still not convinced, you're like, oh, you're right, you may be right, Hattie, but I still can't dance. Here's why you should be dancing. Dance has long-lasting health benefits throughout your entire life. It's a great physical exercise and creative outlet for people who are tired of just lifting weights or running on a treadmill. Those things are too tedious. Dance is a great physical activity that exercises your body and your mind as well. It can even help you in your later stages in life as well. In fact, a study done by Fong Wan showed that people in later stages of life with Parkinson's and dementia actually reversed their symptoms by just dancing 1 hour a week. They were able to live better and happier lives because they were able to exercise their bodies and their minds and create connections with other people while dancing. Dance supports people not just when you were 6 years old and forced to go to ballet class, but for your entire life. Now that we know why everyone should be dancing, and hopefully you're convinced that you can be dancing, dance is something that we desperately need to protect. So often in my life, I've heard and seen that dance is pushed off more as a hobby rather than a part of our culture. In the beginning of this speech, I talked about how every single person in this room had something in common, but in all honesty, everybody in the whole world has something in common, and that is dance. Different cultures from around the world dance for many different reasons, for love, for ritual, for celebration of life, but dance is universal because it doesn't need any fancy equipment or knowledge of the rules. The only thing you need is confidence, creativity, and passion for dance. That's why dance is everywhere around the world. Luckily enough, Weber State University does a great job at protecting dance. They have free exercise classes, open enrollment dance classes, and even an award-winning dance team. So I shouldn't hear anyone in this room say, oh, there's no reason for me to dance, when you have so many opportunities here in your hometown. A great opportunity that you could take is their end of semester performance group that performs at the end of the semester and shows off an array of choreographers. That's me right there, performing in the end of year performance. Now, because dance is so universal, there should be no reason why anyone should be stopping themselves from dance. We know now that everyone can dance. There's no such thing as a good or bad dancer. Dance can support you throughout your entire life, and that protecting it is more important now more than ever. If I were to have you take one thing away from this speech today, is that dance is for everyone, so everyone should be dancing. Thank you.
Thank you, Hattie. Although, I think I might give you a little run for your money on the everybody can dance front, but I don't mind, I'll give it a try.
It's your birthday.
It's my birthday. All right, our next speaker is Jace Toll. He'll be delivering a speech titled Highs and Lows. He was born in Ogden and still calls Ogden home. His major is political science with a minor in environmental conservation. He's a freshman this year and graduated from Bonneville High School. His professional goals are to be in the National Park Service / nonprofit animal and environmental conservation. Looks like there's like some narrowing down to be done on that one. His instructor this semester was Bethany Rasmussen.
All right. When I was 15 years old, I didn't have too many friends. I would go home from school and I would sit in my bedroom alone, playing guitar. The one that my grandfather gave me that year. And in doing so, I learned two really important lessons. One, that I couldn't rely on other people to bring joy to my life. I had to find that within myself. And two, life is a song. I myself am a song, and so are all of you. Like songs, life fluctuates and repeats. It has what I would call beautiful moments. We'll call them highs. And it's got lower, sadder, maybe angry moments. We'll call those lows. But life always comes back around and ends on the highest high you've ever been to. And life always starts off good, right? Really beautiful. For example, my sister, about a year ago, met a guy that she would say was great. He was going to give her the world. He loved her. They were going to start a family together. But things changed. Turns out that dude was not great. He was abusive, emotionally, physically, but he got her pregnant about 7 months ago. That is hard. When you are 21 years old, not married, not expecting this to come, and then all of a sudden you've got a little boy thrown into your life. And it's hard to stay with somebody when they're going to be the father of your child and they're not a good person. But she did what she had to. She broke things off with him, as hard as it may be. And things started to look up. Things started to look a little bit better, but I know the high is yet to come. When that child is born, it's going to be the most beautiful moment of my sister's life. Each of us have these highs, these really, really, really lows. These more beautiful moments that all of us deserve. All of us should be chasing after that. And I know that when we get into these low spots, these maybe ugly spots, we can look forward to those highs, those beautiful moments, and we can find them even maybe in our lows, in our saddest and our maddest points in life. My brother maybe doesn't have a lot of highs in his life. He was adopted into our family, and he has a few other he's got some mental illnesses. He's got a few personality disorders. He has been diagnosed with autism, and he's made a lot of really, really, really poor decisions in his life. And that's ended up in group homes. I don't really know what he's doing right now, but I know that as hard as it was growing up with him, I had to choose to love him. I had to see the positivity that was in him. And even though he may have the ugliest life ever, I can maybe share a little bit of beauty from mine. I'm being kind to him, showing him that I love him, even when it's hard, even when it sucks to do so, because it does. But I think it's necessary. If I want to feel a little bit of positivity in my life, I might as well share it with others, right? And life is very intricate, and so are songs. Songs repeat, but they surprise you. They can do so many things, but you never know what's coming. And I think that in itself is beautiful. We have to experience these lows so we can experience those highs to the fullest capacity that we can. And I've written stories over and over and over. Most of them sound the same. But there's one that forever holds a space in my heart. It's about a young man in the Appalachian Mountains of Virginia. Probably around 200 years ago, when it was still rugged terrain, the people were outlaws. It was a very interesting place. And this man, he falls in love with a girl, right? I've experienced love. It didn't work out. It sucks. But in this story, maybe it does. Instead of telling you this story, I thought I might as well play it for y'all tonight. This is called Briars Creek. Hey there, darling, let's settle down out on Briars Creek. There's a few places to build a house and make a family tree. Well, I've been honest, but there's one thing that I've kept here just for me. How I killed a man and became an outlaw. This is how I came to be. Well, I was a problem until I turned 23. Then I wrote a few songs in my grandpa's sweet memory. And through that, darling, I defined what love really means. Well, slow down, darling, just you wait. I'll build a house on Briars Creek. We can have 3 kids and get a good dog out on Briars Creek. Well, I was a problem until I turned 23. Then I wrote a few songs in my grandpa's sweet memory. And through that, darling, I defined what love really means. This is the sad part. It's been 10 years since we settled down right here on Briars Creek. We only had 2 kids, then you got sick, now I'm lonely. Well, I've got 2 problems since we got married. And I sing them songs about their mama and me. And through them, darling, I do find what love really means. And in that story, our little protagonist finds love, but life throws you something unexpected. His wife dies. I don't know by what yet, but he has 2 kids with her, and they become the light in the life of his life. And I know that even though he was experiencing a whole lot of this when his wife died, I wrote it, and he kind of experiences a little bit of this after. I mean, his life probably still kind of sucks. But there are highs in the lows. There are beautiful moments and our saddest moments in our entire lives. We just have to look for them. We have to slow down, take it all in. And if we're doing that, we might as well share it with other people. So I invite you tonight, when you experience those lows, look for those highs. If you're experiencing those highs, share them with other people. Get them out of those lows. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Jace. Our next presenter is Braden Boyson. He'll be delivering a speech titled The Bee Crisis of the Beehive State. Braden was born in Anchorage, Alaska, and calls Ogden home. He's studying construction management. He's a freshman this year, and he graduated from Roy High School. His professional goal is to be a manager of a construction company, and his instructor this semester was Deanne Carver.
Hey everybody. So, as many of you know, we live in Utah, and Utah is known as the Beehive State. Now, it gets that name from the early pioneers who had an admiration for the honeybee. They really appreciated the industrious nature of the honeybee and its tight-knit communities, and they really wanted to have those qualities in their own community, which is why they adopted the honeybee as their sigil. Now, little did they know when they adopted it that it would actually fit the state in more than one way. Utah is home to over 1,100 different species of native bees. That makes up over 25% of all native bees in the United States. And it really goes to add an extra level to that Beehive State name. But there's a problem. The Utah bees are having a population crisis right now. A study done by Utah State University found that the native bumblebee had a 93% population decrease in the past 2 decades. Now that is an alarming rate, but it's not even just the bumblebee. All of the native bees of Utah are all experiencing similar population declines. Now, if you're wondering why are bees even important in the first place, it's because they play a critical role in pollination. If you're unfamiliar with that, that is the process in which plants reproduce. They transport pollen from one plant to another, and without the bees, there's nobody there to transport that pollen. And many important plants, like the ones we use to feed our livestock, would completely die out if we didn't have the bees around. So their role in our society is critical. Now, there are plenty of reasons why we are experiencing declines in bee populations, but I'm going to focus on 2 today. The first one being habitat loss. Cities continue to expand and push bees out of their native ranges, leaving them with nowhere to live and nowhere to forage for food. And this is a problem. The other major reason for bee decline is actually going to be the honeybee itself. I know it's an iconic species. Everybody loves them because everybody loves honey. But honeybees are really a detriment to the native bee populations because they are invasive, and they completely outnumber and outcompete native bee species. A lot of native bees are actually solitary, and they live on their own, while the honeybee lives in hives with up to 60,000 members. Now, 1 bee to 60,000 bees, it's a hard fight for the native bee. And these problems are actually only going to get worse. Cities are going to continue to expand, and more honeybee farmers actually want to move their beehives into Utah. Now, what can you do to help? Well, I'm going to tell you in just a couple slides here. But first, I'm going to tell you about why native bees are more important than honeybees. You might be thinking, why not just let the honeybee take over? Well, honeybees are what are considered a generalist pollinator, meaning that they prioritize large patches of single flowers. Think of like a large tulip field. They would prioritize that over any of the other local flowers in their area. Now, this is a problem because if the native bees are not there to help pollinate those other flowers and the honeybees are ignoring them, it causes those plants to go extinct. And that is a problem. So the native bees help fill these niches in the ecosystem and help keep those plants from going extinct. Now, what you can do to help is start a native plant garden this summer. I know, something so simple for such a big problem, but why native plants? Well, like I just said, the generalist mentality of the honeybee means that they ignore most native plant species. So if you go out and you start a garden of all native plants, you're really doing the most you can to give the native bees an upper hand by giving them plants that only they have access to, as well as extra habitat for them to live in. Now, there are also other benefits to starting your native plant garden. An entry of the Journal of Environmental Horticulture found that being surrounded by greenery and nature can reduce your levels of stress and anxiety. So starting a garden could be really great for your mental health. It's also a good source of exercise and gets you out in the sun, which, I don't know about you guys, I definitely need more excuses to get out in the sun. But it can also benefit your wallet, believe it or not. As many of you may know, we are experiencing the lowest levels of snowpack that we have in many years, meaning that we're about to get into a heavy drought this summer. So, if you replace some of your pre-existing garden or some of your grass in your yard with a native plant garden, you can reduce your water bill and help save. And this is possible because the native plants are adapted to our local environment and are drought tolerant and don't need as much water. There are also programs that will pay you for setting up your garden, like the Utah Water Savers program. They will pay you up to $3 per square foot of environmentally friendly landscaping, which can really help to soften the blow of setting up your native garden. But help doesn't stop there. There are tons of other Utah local sources or resources that can help you get you started, like local landscapes here, or local scapes, my apologies, that have free landscaping blueprints on their website that will tell you exactly what to plant and where, taking all the guesswork out of it. And we have the Utah Department of Agriculture. They have a grant that you can apply for, where they will completely pay for your garden. They'll grow out the plants, they'll come and they'll plant it in your yard for you, taking all the work out. All you have to do is take care of it once it's put in. Now, we did unfortunately miss the opening for this. It closed yesterday, but it does open annually, so look out for it next year. And they have a 70% acceptance rate, so really high chances of getting these plants put into your garden if you apply. Now, on this slide here, I've compiled the 3 main resources I've found that you could use to start your garden this summer. So if you are interested, please take your phone out now and take a picture of these to save for later. And while you do that, I'm going to talk a little bit about my summer project here. This is a picture of where I live. This is my dad's house. And outlined is going to be my park strip. This summer, am going to go in, tear out that park strip, and replace it with a native plant garden. Now, you might be wondering, why the park strip? Well, it's honestly a great beginner-friendly way to get started. That website, Localscape there, actually has a ton of blueprints that are specific for the park strip. So I don't have to do much guesswork on what plants to put in. I also hope that it serves as an inspiration for my neighbors. You know, it's right there, right in the front. Everybody can see it as they are walking down the sidewalk or driving by. And I hope they see it and get inspired to do the same with their park strips. So, to recap, I've told you a little bit about the bee crisis we're experiencing in Utah and how you can help tremendously just by starting a garden. So, I hope I've inspired you to join me this summer in doing so. So let's get out there and bring the bees back to the beehive state. Thank you.
Thank you, Braden. Our final presenter tonight will be Max Bartholomew. He'll be delivering a speech titled Therapy Through Noise. Max was born in Salt Lake City and calls Ogden home. He's majoring in biology and is a sophomore this year. He graduated from Ogden High, and his professional goal is to be an orthopedic surgeon. His instructor this semester was Deanne Carver.
Thank you. According to the book, The Anxious Generation, people ages 18 to 24 have seen a 139% increase in anxiety. It's not just us youngins too. You can see right here, every single demographic has seen an insane increase in anxiety since 2010. It's a big issue. A lot of us suffer from anxiety. A lot of us know people who suffer from anxiety, and we know how debilitating and horrible it is. And anxiety isn't just emotional. It has physical effects as well. For example, you can get an autoimmune disease because of how anxious you are. You can have panic attacks. Panic attacks are one of the scariest things to witness, and really you just feel helpless watching somebody go through it. You also have a poor immune system. You are easier to get sick if you are more anxious. With anxiety comes depression. When you're depressed, you don't want to do anything. You don't want to get out of bed. You feel hopeless. But there is one little thing that can help. And what if that little thing sounded a bit like this? So, what are the benefits of metal music? It's really actually super interesting what all the benefits are. People who listen to metal music, they have a way to process more information methodically. People who listen to metal music, they process a lot of information, right? That was a lot of information you were just listening to. They have trained their brains to think more methodically, think more logistically. It can also help you feel calmer, oddly enough. It's so interesting about that, the opposite and the balance. It activates the brain's emotional center. So, for example, if you are going through a really, really tough time or feeling super anxious, throwing on some metal music can really help you out. I was freaking out down there when I was waiting for my turn. I threw on my AirPods, and I was listening to some heavy music, and it made me feel better. It is super important. So, there was another study done with people with ADHD. Daniel was a child, it's a pseudonym. This was done by the University of London. They did a study seeing how his behaviors would react to music. And they found that music with fast percussion, aggressive lyrics, and just methodic riffs, he saw a 90% decrease in his negative behaviors. That is a big decrease and is overall super, super important for people. So, metal music, right? You've all heard the stigmas. Oh, it's satanic. It incites violence. People who listen to metal are mean. Some of you guys lived through the satanic panic of the 70s, right? Yeah, it was no joke, right? So let's break these down a little bit, make you a little less scared of metal music. First off, the lyrics aren't always satanic. For example, the song you just listened to, The Calm That Keeps You Awake, is about the experience of losing someone you love. It's about the intense anxiety of being alone and feeling lost. It's a universal experience, right? Number 2, Say Goodbye by Body Snatcher. It's a song talking about how unjust the medical system is, keeping us alive for as long as we can pay for it. Now, these are all relevant personal topics. Each of us experienced one of these at least once, and we know how hard it is. And so, these right here should be your go-to whenever you are sad, whenever you are scared. But let's break down the mean metalhead as well. This right here, he counts like a caveman, right? His stage name is Corpse Grinder. Come on. He sings for the band Cannibal Corpse. That's scary. But one of the things that he likes to do when he goes on tour is, you can just look him up. Look up what's his name? Corpse Grinder. Look up Corpse Grinder at Target. You will find him buying Legos. He admitted he'd throw away clothes to take home toys he found at Target. He also does a lot of donation work. He will go and he will play claw machines and donate all that to children's hospitals. So, if you see a metalhead, go say hi. They're super nice. They may look scary, but that's a tactic they've learned through life. They learn if they look scary, people won't mess with them. But go say hi. They're nice people. Finally, if you are ever feeling anxious and you are in your car or you are studying for a test, go to Spotify. Go find a genre of metal music that suits you. There are so many. There are so many. Go find one that suits you and listen to it and bang your head. I have a quote right here that I really like. The science is clear. Metal music is good for you, because it is. It can help you so much. So please, go throw on some Evanescence on your way home and make yourself feel a little bit better with some scary lyrics. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Max. Let's give it up for all of our finalists. One more big round of applause. All right, at this time, we have some honorariums for our finalists. So we'd like to invite our President Durham and Dr. Bialois to come up. They're going to help give these to you. So, you know how people say, like, hold your applause until the last person? Don't do that. I want to hear you give it up when these people come up, okay? So let's hear it. First, Patrick Neal. Patty Sean. Jace Toll. Yeah, Braden Boyson. And Max Bartholomew. Thank you. All right, at this time, so as I said before, we have an award called the Freedom Through Rhetoric Award, and it honors somebody who's spent their life using the power of speech to make the world a better place. And unfortunately, Jay Stretch was unable to be with us tonight, so in his place, his good friend Gene Norman will deliver his speech.
I'm not Jay. No resemblance, really. But Jay is a good friend of mine. And it's my honor to give you his words. Rhetoric refers to the art of effective speaking and persuasion. It plays a central role in presentations, negotiations, and leadership tasks. At Weber State University, rhetoric is regarded as a key competency. It fosters clear communication, self-confidence, and leadership skills, both during studies and in your professional life. However, to effectively employ rhetoric, one has to believe not only in the process, but also in the desired result. The department is honoring Jay because of the work he has done with Lantern House, Ogden's homeless shelter, and Youth Impact, an after-school program serving up to 120 students per day. Both are programs that many Weber State Communications students have worked with through our Center for Community Engagement. How many of you have volunteered with either one of these groups? Lantern House or Youth Impact? I thought so. Thank you. Jay, as a board member and former director of both, has been instrumental in the services those organizations provide today. His actions have been the rhetoric that have persuaded so many about the need and value of these services. Over the past couple of days in the hospital, he has shared with me some of the history of his involvement and lessons he has learned through this work. Jay has been involved with the Lantern House since it was St. Anne's Center near Wall Avenue and 27th Street. It was clear then that the 100-person capacity was not enough, and Jay, by then a board member, oversaw construction of the new facility that is now Lantern House. A key piece of that design was to create spaces where residents could maintain dignity, so the bunkhouse rooms of St. Anne's became smaller rooms in separate buildings. Accommodations were created for families. The new facility opened in 2018, able to care for 300 people, and before long, Jay found himself as executive director, running the operation for 18 months. When Jay talked about giving this speech, he wanted the theme to be motivation. The first thing he learned in working with unhoused people day in and day out is that they are people with emotions, just like him. He learned the homeless population is as diverse as the regular population. Some people were just having a run of bad luck, some couldn't handle life in all of its challenges, and some struggled with addiction or mental health problems. The second thing he learned is that handouts don't work to help homeless people become self-sufficient. People who want to help will often bring food and clothes, but helping people out of homelessness is more complicated, Jay says. What's missing is something to motivate them, and the motivation is very individualized. You have to find the spark within them and try to light that. You don't do this by shame, he says. You have to get to, what do you want to be? What do you expect of yourself? How would you like to see yourself? And then you build from that. His work with Youth Impact came immediately after Lantern House, and he realized that serving children in difficult home situations has a long-term effect. Those children learn in a caring environment how to succeed. In this way, he could prevent people from needing a place like Lantern House. Jay told me that most children in Youth Impact not only complete high school, but also go on to college and build successful lives. One of the key things, Jay says, is the students at Youth Impact say, these guys care. They care about me. They pick me up from school and bring me home every night. In the summer, they pick me up at 9 or 10 in the morning, and I get lunch there, and then they take me back to my house. They get a good meal, and Youth Impact teaches them how to think. Jay says it's not only important for you to understand this, but for legislators and policymakers to understand the work he's done. It's difficult to get the legislature and people on board to take care of the homeless. He told me they, meaning Lantern House, has made strides in terms of reducing requirements for employment, and in some areas and some companies are more willing to hire less experienced people and to teach and motivate them. But the work continues, and it takes a lot of persuasion to get society to help. And that brings us back to rhetoric and this award. You all have learned how to speak to an audience. Now go and use that power for good. Use your words and use your actions and make this a better place for everybody and make Jay proud.
We will now have man, I can't even talk anymore. We'll now have some remarks from our interim president, Dr. Leslie Durham.
So I get to talk to a lot of people about a lot of things in this role, but I don't very often have to follow 5 such amazing speakers and the amazing words that we just heard. Would you give them all another round of applause? And as daunting as this is, I am really proud to be able to follow up and to say how amazing what we've heard tonight is. What these students did on stage is not easy. To stand in front of a live audience, to develop an original argument, to take a position, to shape it, to refine it, and then to deliver it with clarity and conviction, that takes courage, it takes discipline, and it takes real intellectual work. And it matters now more than ever. We're living in a time where information is everywhere. When text can be generated instantly, and when AI can help us draft, summarize, and even simulate communication. But what it can't replace is what you heard on stage tonight. It cannot replace these unique, creative voices. It can't replace their perspective, and it can't replace the ability to stand in a room like this and to connect live in real time with other human beings. And that is a uniquely powerful skill. Because communication is not first and foremost about just delivering information. It's about framing an idea in a way that makes people think differently. It's about building an argument that others can engage with, question, and respond to. And it's about creating moments of connection where something shifts slightly or dramatically in how we understand the world. When we get to hear about trying on a new culture and finding that it fits better than the one that we came in with. When we remember that, yes, all of us can dance, and that that is something that we need to protect. When we get to take a moment to think about our own lives as a song and how we might share that with those around us, how we might cultivate the space that might have just seemed extra but can motivate others to do likewise, that reminds us that the scary lyrics are sometimes the thing that helps us try on those emotions, work them out, and find courage to move forward. And that we all need to keep the spark within ourselves bright. This is something that I yearn for more of in times of transition, in times of division, and in times when we have an opportunity, maybe even an obligation to imagine a better future. And that's what we got to do this evening. We saw these students who are not just learning how to speak, but learning how to think and learning how to help us think better. They're learning how to shape ideas and share them with us so that we can carry them forward. And they're learning to engage with this diverse audience in ways that are thoughtful, intentional, impactful, purposeful, and even inspirational. And in an age of AI, those skills don't become less important. They become absolutely essential. Because the future is not going to be defined by who has access to information. It will be defined by who can interpret it, challenge it, and communicate it in ways that matter to other people, lifting them up and bringing them forward. And that is what all of you have learned how to do, and that you're helping us learn how to do. So tonight we get to celebrate a timely and durable form of uniquely human excellence. We celebrate the preparation, the originality, and the courage that it took them to step onto the stage and that will help us go with them. We also celebrate the faculty and the mentors who guide and support this work, who nurture that talent and keep that spark bright. And most of all, again, I want to celebrate our speakers. You challenged us, you engaged us, you reminded us what powerful communication looks like and what human connection feels like. You represent the very best of Weber State. We are lucky to be in your presence. We are lucky to have learned from you, and we are lucky to be able to carry these ideas forward with us into the rest of our lives. Please join me in giving one more round of applause to these amazing speakers.
Let me just quickly do. Yeah.
Yes, I've been given another job.
Yes. So, very quickly, I have more. Plenty of birthday glitter.
Okay.
Before we do this, though, I want to recognize Brent Warnock, who has put together this speech showcase. Let's give him a big round of applause. He's been doing this for years, and every time it gets better and better. So thank you so much, Brent, for all the work that you do to make this possible. Okay, so the last thing that we do for this speech showcase, it includes audience participation. So this is a call and response, okay? So our president here, Dr. Durham, is going to say something. When you hear that, you're going to yell as loud as you can, Weber speaks, okay? Then she's going to say something else, and then you're going to say, Weber speaks. Okay, yeah, we need way better than that. Like, we've had some real power here in some of the cheering. We need all of that, because we're just about done here. So get all that fun and excitement and ready to go. So, here we go. We all ready?
When an answer to a problem is needed, whenever conflict or justice demand resolution, should fear threaten to silence the voice of freedom,
Yeah, we're done. So you can go about your business now.